Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Sabrina. My channel is The Hopeful Minimalist. I am that hopeful minimalist. I love handbags a lot. I have way too many of them. Lately, I've been trying to downsize, but that is the reason my channel is called what it's called. If you're a handbag lover as well, please go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. One of the things that comes along with loving handbags in excess is periodically experiencing some disappointment with product quality or with customer service. And I'll have a little bit of a rant about that today. I want to do kind of a review on a product. I don't have any product quality issues, maybe one small complaint, but overall, I'm really happy with the products that I'll talk about in today's video, but it's the customer service that I'm not as happy with when it comes to Louis Vuitton. Before I get started on my rant, bag of the day, of course, this is the Coach Hamptons re-edition bag, and it has the sparkles on it. This bag is so beautiful, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's more available now or as of lately than it was when I first got it. And because I've seen so many posts lately, I think it's a little bit easier to get your hands on. So if I can find it available anywhere, I will link it in the description box for you. You might have noticed that the clasp is undone. This is my pet peeve about this bag. I believe it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it's worth obtaining it if you really like the style. Even though this clip gets on my last nerves. It's just difficult to clasp. It's just difficult. I'm not going to get into that today, but like I said, if I can find this available, I'll link it below for you. But yeah, that gets on my nerves. Well, I'm going to start with my positive part of this video, which is a review on the Liv Pochette. I was traveling about a month ago for work, and I don't live anywhere near a Louis Vuitton store. Oftentimes, I'll try to find one when I'm traveling, and this time I did. I went in store, got to look at this in person, try it on. I already was very interested in it, and going in store just sealed the deal. I've mentioned before that my favorite part is the pink interior. And I have to say, I have absolutely been enjoying this bag over the last month. I have worn it quite a bit. I did that on purpose. I wanted to use it, see how it performed, see how it agreed with my style. It's the water hose. This is the sound I woke up to this morning, and now we're hearing it again in this video. I just turned on noise cancellation, so I'm hoping that helps to drown out the pet whale in my backyard. But anyway, as I was saying, I've been using this bag not consistently for 1 month, but I've used it several times in different ways. I have used it with the cute chain strap, which can give you a dressier or more elevated look. And I have also used it with the crossbody vachetta strap, which gives you more of a casual look. This bag still has dress up potential, and I've used it more often with the vachetta strap that came with it. One of the reasons I love this bag so much is because of what it can fit. It fits a lot. Looks are deceiving. There are 2 pouches, and I'm able to easily fit all of my necessities in this bag, even 2 cell phones. I also really appreciate this middle compartment capability between the 2 pochettes or pouches. I love that, and that has definitely made me consider getting this in another color. Thinking maybe the version that's in the empreinte leather in black, but I don't want to get something that's too similar to my mini bum bag, so kind of contemplating that. Don't know for sure. Another thing I like about this bag is that it stands up when you sit it down, and of course that is thanks to the design with the 2 pochettes. I haven't had an experience yet where it won't stand up on its own. It just kind of will do that because of the way it's designed. So I have 0 complaints about the Liv Pochette. One more thing about this bag that I think is worth mentioning is just something that I observed regarding the chain strap. And this is not a complaint, but it's something that I just want to share. So in my initial video about this bag, I mentioned that the vachetta strap is a little bit short. I love the length of it personally, but I do feel that someone taller than I am may find it to be too short. I'm 5'5" for reference, and I'll put a video on screen to show you how it fits on me. But I have shared a hack that I used on my mini bum bag. And that hack is just to attach the original leather strap to one of the D-rings and then attach both ends or both clasps of the chain strap to the other D-ring. And with the mini bum bag, I was then able to take the other end of the leather strap and attach it to one of these links. And the result is a longer chain because you're able to basically lengthen the leather chain by this much. And it also gives you a cute little chain detail to drape across the front or the back. What I noticed was when I tried to do this with this bag, it would not work. And I don't think that my chain strap is defective in any way. I just think it's a little bit different than the chain that goes with my mini bum bag. The links are not as wide in the middle here. So the issue that you would have if you try to do this is that because the chain links are not as wide, it's kind of stiff. If you can see the clasp right here, it can't really rotate if it's inside of this link right here. Now with my mini bum bag, it's a completely different story. The clasp can like wiggle back and forth very easily, and the only thing I can see happening with this is damaging the finish, like creating some scratches that you just don't want on your hardware. So that's just something I wanted to share in regards to this chain strap. So if you're hoping to be able to use that maneuver or hack, I would proceed with caution because I don't know how that would affect the hardware long term if you were to wear it that way. So just a piece of information. So positive review, kudos goes to the Liv Pochette. Let's move on to the next product in my review. It is a fragrance. This is the bag that they gave me for fragrance samples. And I was traveling at the time, remember, so I had to kind of crumple this and smush it into my carry-on bag. The fragrance that I purchased that day was this one. This is Imagination, and this is in the form of the travel refills. I also wanted the Attrape Rev refills. They were out of stock, so they ordered that for me. So if you're not familiar with the Louis Vuitton travel fragrance system, this is what it looks like. You have an atomizer and you have refills. I would not recommend that you go online and purchase the refills by themselves unless you have the specific atomizer that you have to use to be able to use the fragrance. The very first time I had to purchase the whole system. So the whole system consists of this and this. This is empty. So imagine you're just purchasing it. When you get your package, you'll have this, it'll be empty, and then you'll have this, which has a set of 4 flacons. I think that's what they call it. I don't know, 4 refills, okay? So I already had this because I had purchased it beforehand. So when I went in store, I was able to get this, which came with the 4 refills. I actually have one in here that doesn't belong because I took this one with me out of town. This one is the fragrance L. And at some point on my trip, I just put that in here because I took one of these out to put in here. Hope that wasn't too confusing. So, like I said, don't go online and just buy the refills. The refills may be tempting because they are about $150, but you won't be getting the atomizer, and you have to have the atomizer to use these unless you're going to be crafty and figure out a way to like siphon out the fragrance, which I would not recommend doing that. I'm pretty resourceful, and I'm not even about to go through all that trouble to do that. So anyway, so this is how the travel system works. When you first get this, it will be empty. You just screw off the bottom like that, and you take your little flacon from the cylinder, and you just stick it in like that and screw the bottom back on. After you've done that, you can take off the top and spray your fragrance just like that. It's very simple, but a lot of people don't know that you shouldn't just go online and buy these first. Buy the whole system first, and then you can just buy the refills thereafter. You can use this with any of these little refills. Now, if you swap them out, for example, I was using L in here at first. I took an alcohol pad and kind of wiped around this part so that when I sprayed Imagination, I wouldn't be getting whiffs of L. That happened anyway, and I think you'll just have to spray it a few times to get rid of the previous fragrance. And then going forward, all you'll smell is whatever refill you have inside of the atomizer. I think the full system is $345, and that might be about the same price as a full-size fragrance bottle. I think it is the same price, but it's not the same volume. So you would pay the same amount of money for this large bottle as you would pay for this, which is just the 4 flacons. So keep that in mind. I don't think it's a problem if the refill system is going to work better for you. If you want to be able to travel without fear of breaking your bottle, which I have done before and has devastated me, I think it's worth it to get the refill system. Now, if you want to buy the full bottle and just spray this out into your own little atomizers, that's perfectly an option. I do that a lot of times because I do have just plain atomizers from Amazon, and I just take this out and spray into those. You can definitely do that. It's all up to you. How much effort do you want to put into preparation for travel? This is just easy, and so I went this route. The only complaint I have about the system is the top doesn't stay on very well because it's not flush with the rest of the bottle. So if you have it in your bag and it just bends like that, the top is going to come off and it's going to get lost in your larger bag if that's what you have it inside, for example. So that's the only thing I don't like about this design. It's just they should have made it flush with the bottle so that the likelihood of you losing the top is not so high. I have owned this fragrance before in the full bottle, and I sold it on Mercari. This has been probably 2 years ago, and it was in the winter time. And I definitely think that the time of year that you wear a certain fragrance impacts how it smells on you, how much you enjoy it. This may not be true all the time with every fragrance, but I definitely think it had something to do with why I sold it. Something turned me off about this when I owned it before, and it was wintertime. Well, was it wintertime or was it a different formulation? Not sure. Per the Louis Vuitton website, these are 2 very different sets of fragrance notes for the full bottle and for the refills, and I'm thinking this must be a mistake. I think this is a fabulous fragrance for summertime and spring because it's on the fresher side. It's unisex, so it doesn't smell overly feminine or overly masculine. It just smells fresh and good. I know fragrance is subjective, so it's always best to get a sample or go in store first to test it. I know you're probably wondering, so what part are you not satisfied with? Well, let's get into it now. Let me look at my receipt so I can see what date I ordered the Attrape Rev. I was in store on May 15th. Today is June 11th. I have not received the Attrape Rev fragrance refills. That's my complaint. That's it. I just, where is my fragrance? So ironically, about a year ago, I was traveling for work again. I went into the store. There was an item that I wanted that they didn't have in store. They ordered it for me. The same thing happened. It went over a month, and this time it was a handbag. So I was really, really upset because imagine the price difference between a set of refills for a fragrance and an actual handbag. Pretty big difference. Anyway, this same thing happened. I had been charged for the bag. Like, there wasn't just a hold on funds. The purchase had gone through. It was ordered. It was pending validation and order in preparation, and it went back and forth between those two stages for a couple weeks, and finally they honored my request of just canceling the order. And that was a whole ordeal because apparently if you place an order in store, that particular store has to cancel your order. You can't contact customer service and ask for a cancellation. You can't call a store and get a sales associate on the phone directly either. So there's like a lot of hoops to jump through if you need to cancel an order placed in store. It's almost like if you don't have the availability of a product to fulfill a customer's order, inform them that they're basically pre-ordering, because to tell me that it'll take a couple of days extra because of high demand is one thing, but for it to be almost 1 month later and I can't even see any updates on the order when I look online, that's a totally different situation. I've been hearing about this same situation happening with the Murakami orders. It's really an abuse of your customers' time and money, because if you know that you cannot reasonably deliver this product, don't allow a customer to order it. Say that it's out of stock. You shouldn't be able to place orders on products that are out of stock and unavailable. So that is my rant. That is my complaint. And like I said, it's even worse that I went through this same situation 1 year ago with a bag. It took weeks and weeks to get the order canceled and my refund. And I just think that it's unacceptable and there's no excuse for it. I have contacted customer service one time several days ago about the order. They were supposed to send a message to the store and have them get in contact with me within 48 hours. They have not contacted me to give me an order status update. I do have the phone number of the sales associate that helped me that day. It's written on one of these receipts, or I think she gave me a business card. So I'm going to contact her personally today to ask what's up with the fragrance. You know, if it's not in sight in the system, just cancel my order and let me get a refund. I'll just take my chances on going online to order it myself when it's showing to be in stock. That is the review and the rant. I'm just glad that the review this time was positive for the most part. I am disappointed that I have another complaint as far as customer service goes, because it's just not a good look, and there are so many people that have complaints. I hope this video was helpful to you in some way or another, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.